What is something someone said to you that made your brain hurt because it was so stupid? A coworker, one who I am not very close with, was talking to me about a project. Then she just said, "Why do you squint your eyes so much? Do you need glasses?" I said, I am Japanese. She was deadpan serious. I was in the car with my sister and one of her friends once, and we drove past a marsh with a bunch of cattail plants in it. My sister said, "Look, cattails. Did you know Native American women used to use them as tampons?" Her friend said, "Gross." Then was quiet for 2 minutes, then said, "God, you'd have to catch a lot of cats." I overheard someone talking to an IT staff member and said the following: "Dumbass, but the computer restarts much faster when I push the power button on the screen." IT, but that just shuts off the screen. DA, no it doesn't, it reboots my computer super fast. You don't know much about computers if you never knew that before. IT, I'm telling you it just turns off the screen. DA, watch I push the button, click, and when I push it again, click, the computer is now rebooted. Look, it even says that Dell thing. IT, look, I'm telling you it just shuts off the screen. It does not reboot the PC. DA, look, I think I know computer better than you. I had the first iPad and I know a thing or two about computers. Is the paper expired? Said by my boss about the printer paper when the printer was acting up. Edit, for clarification, the paper was newly delivered. My boss is American. Yes, I understand paper gets old. We don't work with old paper. I had a stupid boss once. He was fresh out of business school, conned into buying into a failing company with his parents' money. At one point, a project had gone badly, and he asked how it looked. I replied that it looked like hammered dog shit. English wasn't his first language, but he was pretty fluent. He said, "Like dog shit? The poop of the dog that has been hit with a hammer? Is that good or bad?" He found the situation stressful, and had started drinking coffee for the first time. At one point, he had made a pot of coffee, but hadn't properly seated the coffee pot in the machine, and coffee was overflowing from the top of the filter holder. Everyone has done this once, but this guy was standing there staring at it, pissing coffee all over the counter. I walk into the room, see the problem, and he's looking at it like a dog trying to figure out the can opener. He didn't take his eyes off of it as he said, in a faraway voice, "It's fascinating. It's ducking everything up." Worked in a coffee shop a few years back. Snobby hipster girl with her accessory gay friend walk in. "Cappuccino, make it dry." Do you know what dry is? My coworker taking the order was new, and I go ahead and say to the customer, "Sure, any specific milk preferences?" Girl, I said dry. "You don't know what that means?" Me, "Yes, I know what dry means. Do you have a milk preference?" Girl, "Dry means all foam, they snicker to each other." Me, "Did you not know that foam is made from milk?" Girl startled and furious, "Just make me a dry cappuccino." I made her a decaf dry cappuccino with half and half. By the way, if you're a donk to your barista, you'll probably get decaf. Edit, hi guys, I've maybe given someone decaf on purpose 2-3 times in my life. This was one of those times. I feel so super bad about it, but I honestly don't have much respect for people who treat servers like shit, and this is how I play God. I'll turn myself into the police tonight, I promise. Why does the elevator have a button for the floor I'm on? So stupid. I was in an elevator with my girlfriend on the 2nd floor, and when we pressed the 1st floor button, it wouldn't go down for some reason. She was convinced it was because we were actually already on the 1st floor, because she thought the plastic star next to the button which designates the main floor was there to tell us which floor we were on. I asked her what she thought the star would do if we went up a floor, and she realized her mistake. She sounds attractive. When I worked at a Best Buy, back in the 90s, a lady wanted a certain software program. I asked if she had Windows or a Mac, and she said a Mac. I told her we didn't have it for that. She found it for a PC and threw it in my face that I was dumb and couldn't find it for her. I said, yes, but you said you have a Mac, and that is for a PC Windows. She flourished the box in my face and said, it's a CD. It will fit in any computer. I said, you're right, and just walked away. Were you there when she came back screaming about how she was sold a defective copy? I don't believe so. But open software is open software. I don't think customer service cared how it got that way. In all likelihood customer service would have sent her to the techs if she said something like that. I once got one of those deep wisdom forward emails saying something like, which one is greater, sun or moon? The answer is the moon because sun shines in the day when there is already light available. But moon shines in the night when there is no light. The most downright moronic thing on so many levels. I felt like being hit on the head with a giant hammer. To this day, I rage when I think of the person who made it. A woman brought back a laptop to run as it wasn't working. It was full of water. Ain't been no water around that computer. It must have come from the electrical cord you gave me. Oh, geez, you reminded me. Back when people were switching from dial-up to DSL and then to cable, I would often explain the difference with the idea of, think of a garden hose. You can only fit so much water through a garden hose. But think of a fire hose. More water, at a faster speed can go through the hose. Having broadband is like having a fire hose. Customer, but will it increase my water bill if I get the broadband? This one isn't a face-palmingly dumb as some of the others, but a little thought really brought to light how stupid it was. We were at Longhorn, I think. Maybe Outback, and we were waiting on a table, and so was this other guy, dressed in a suit talking on the phone on a business call. A couple walked in, walks up to the hostess, gives her their name, and she takes them to their table. They had called ahead. Well, the other guy waiting for a table completely flies off the handle. Why the duck did they get seated before I did? Well, they called ahead. So if I go outside and call, you'll go ahead and give me a table? No, you would have had to call an hour ago like they did. Well, how the duck was I supposed to know to do that? You could see the hostess's wheels slowly turning as she realizes that this man, dressed in a business suit who's been on a business call for the last 10 minutes talking about contracts and stuff, had no idea what calling ahead at a restaurant means. He finally stormed out, still cursing. We just looked at her with the most shocked look on our faces. Then they gave us a free dessert for having to listen to his temper tantrum. You'd have to be going awful fast to go a mile a minute though, probably like 80 miles per hour. Whenever I drive and see a sign like city 10 miles away, and I'm going 65 to 70 on the highway, I always predict it will be roughly 10 minutes away. Am I genius? There's this stoner that could have sworn he was some all-knowing scientist and the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama. He got his GED in high school cause he couldn't stand being so smart around his peers. That's not my answer. My answer is when he posted on Facebook that, hey guys, I learned how to reach an orgasm simply by only using my brain power. I learned it in 1 minute, and it is great. Also, while I'm here, a day later or two he posted, if any of you want help quitting any smoking or drinking, come to me. I'm starting a rehab service where I can cure you in a day. It's all in the mind, guys. That's why I drink and smoke every day, cause I can control it to not affect me. HMU. Overheard this from some teenage girls at a hotel. The fitness center says 24 hours. That means it's open all the time. Well, actually there are only 23 hours and 56 minutes in a day. I've counted. So it's open more than all the time. What the duck does more than all the time mean? I can't comprehend it. Edit. To clarify, the girl said this non-jokingly. She said it very matter-of-factly like Hermione Granger correcting someone. I've counted? I imagine her sitting staring at the clock. Got bored and dozed off for 4 minutes somewhere in there. Shortly after Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 was shot down in Ukraine, I was out to dinner with my cousin. In that time she brought up the topic and said to me, I am sad that the plane was shot down, but it's good that we finally found it. I didn't know planes could stay in the air so long. She thought that the Malaysia Airlines flight that got lost in March was the same plane that got shot down in July, and it had just been flying around since then.